Hi guys, welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Moviemaker magazine. We're at the Cambridge Los Angeles studio in West Hollywood. I'm here, Brandon Zuck, with his movie Stay. Let's take a look at a clip. Brandon, thank you for joining us in the studio today. Tell us a brief synopsis of your film.
So Stay is about a punk kid from Florida who takes a job delivering a suitcase full of drugs to a houseboat down in the Keys, and he decides to invite his ex-boyfriend to come on the trip, thinking that it's going to bring them closer together, but his ex is a bad dude and tries to convince him they should steal it and run off together.
Oh wow, so you have to watch this to know the story. Where was your inspiration behind the film, Brandon?
That's always kind of like a little bit of a delicate topic because it is loosely based on a true story.
We love true stories on New Filmmakers. It's
yeah,
great.
The real story didn't get that violent. It was more like of a what happened if I turned left instead of right at this point in my life. But like I'm always inspired by stuff like the first line of Bright Lights, Big City when he's like, "You are not the kind of guy who would be in a place like this at this time of the morning, but here you are, and the terrain is not entirely unfamiliar." I always think about like how I find myself like in my more adventurous years in the past, like crossing lines I never thought I'd cross, like little ones for whatever reason, and you get like a little bit further away from the person that you thought you were, and it's like dangerous and exciting, and I always like find really interesting moments and stories and like in those times, and that's sort of what I draw from now when I'm working on a new project.
And as a director, who were your inspirations?
I mean, obviously I love Gus Van Sant. You know, I think that was a big inspiration for this. I mean, generally, like some of my favorite directors are like Fincher, and like I like a little bit like a little darkness, a little edge.
The two boyfriends just put on a really fantastic performances. How did you find them?
So Brandon Harris, who plays Ash, is a friend of mine who I actually worked with him on a few earlier projects. We met when I was casting for one of my first short films at Columbia. He had just moved to New York. He'd been in New York for like a week, and I cast him in this little film. And so like we've been kind of close ever since then and worked together on a bunch of stuff. And Julie and I just met through he plays Jax. I just met him through the casting process just when I was casting this film. And he walked in and he was eerily similar to the person that this role was based on, and so it was kind of just perfect.
Yeah, and you're from the East Coast, but you went to undergraduate at Tisch and Columbia. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I did film school at NYU when I first came out of high school.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, so I went to film school, and then I sort of like tried out 100 other different careers in my 20s.
But you came back to film.
And I decided that I was making a big mistake, and I came back to grad school. So I went to Columbia to kind of just like pull myself back on track.
Fantastic. And as a director, who would you say has influenced you the most to kind of be where you are today?
Do you mean like other directors, or do you mean like people I've worked with?
People you've worked with, yeah.
I've had some like really amazing professors at Columbia. I got a lot of help on this film from Ramin Barani and Tom Kalin and Eric Mendelsohn, who are just like amazing directing faculty. And Catherine Diekman is a screenwriting professor who like really helped me out with the script a lot. They have some like real amazing talent in the professors at Columbia. And
speaking of talent as well, the cinematography is just so beautiful to watch. How did you find him?
So that's JP, John Wakayama Carey. He is a really good friend of mine from school. We started at the same time, and he is just like brilliant. And he comes up. He's such a soldier, and he can kind of work with anything, which was like perfect in like a film school setting. So like, cause like we work with like a really small crew on this. You know, it was very guerrilla, very like gaff taping random crap together, like figuring things out. And he can just build something out of nothing, like in a really amazing way. He has this perfect eye, and he is like a genius with lighting.
Well, I love your soundtrack. It's got a great vibe, the soundtrack, and it really influences each and every scene. What would you say is your biggest challenge making this film?
My biggest challenge making this film was definitely budget constraints. A lot of it was out of pocket. There was some Kickstarter, and I got some equipment from school. But I was trying to do a lot more than I had the money for. Like we had to rent an island, we rented 2 boats and cars and flying all the people down to Florida and all the equipment. There wasn't a lot left over. So the reason why a lot of people are uncredited, a lot of the roles are uncredited in the credits is because I did like half of the normal jobs. Like I was makeup, I was wardrobe, I was production design.
That's a lot on IMDb credits, isn't it? My goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm a little bit of a control freak, but it also like, so that's probably part of it. But like it also...
The best directors are control freaks, trust me, you know?
But it made it so that I could really control like a lot of the spending, and like I sort of returned like almost all of our props and wardrobe. So
Okay,
like,
we didn't know that much. Yeah.
But I was able to like kind of manage the budget like in that sort of way. But it was hard because I was directing, like I was holding a prop bag, I was putting blood on somebody, and I was like, telling people where to put the camera.
That's amazing. So obviously we've just heard how much hard work you put into making Stay. What is it like that your film has been as part of the official selection for New Filmmakers Los Angeles?
It was really great because, as we've been screening around, I live in Los Angeles now, I have a lot of friends here, and it was like so wonderful to have such a nice screening in LA because my family came down and everything, and it was sort of something I've been waiting for, It was really great.
And obviously actually, no, we don't, I know this. I understand that you are actually making this into a feature film.
Yeah, we're developing it into a feature right now. We have the script, and we're just kind of putting together the team and everything. It's pretty exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
So we're going to see a lot more from you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Is there any other work that you're working on at the moment as well?
I'm always writing something. I'm working on a project right now with a friend of mine. He's a director. He just won actually the Student Academy Award for narrative. We're writing a feature together, so like that's also the next project on the horizon.
Well, Stay was such a beautiful film. We all very much enjoyed it. So congratulations on your movie, Brandon.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much for joining us. If you'd like to find out more about New Filmmakers Los Angeles, you can sign up for our newsletter at nfmla.org. We'd like to thank Cameras Los Angeles for this wonderful space where we've met some of the world's best new filmmakers.